Hi Leo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and new year. This is your 2026 year ahead overview, and the way it works is we'll actually look at each of the 12 houses of the zodiac, starting with your sign as the first house, and we'll actually pull an oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck after that, and then we'll actually start the reading off our rolling those astrology dice we have off to the right. As far as the main tarot deck being used, we have the Tarot of the New Vision. All right, so we'll get started. Okay, we have 7. So 7th house energy for you guys is Aquarius, and as far as the main energy going on there, well, the North Node will be moving in there later in the year, and we have Pluto there currently for an extended stay. So 7th house in general points to partnerships, contracts, and relationships. So there could definitely be an emphasis on that area of life this year. All right, we have Scorpio. So for you guys, Scorpio is your 4th house of home, roots, family. And the main thing that comes to mind for Scorpio energy this year is that there's going to be a Venus retrograde in Scorpio in early October, and that'll run through about the middle of November. But yeah, so you could definitely see some changes around that area of life as well. And speaking of Venus, we have Venus here too. So again, like I said, the main theme with Venus this year, it's going to move through a good chunk of the zodiac, but it will actually have that retrograde that we just mentioned. And Venus could point to love to an extent, also finances, self-worth, things along those lines there. So those could be themes you might be reevaluating this year. But we'll keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the first house, we have the 8 of Wands. So this is actually a Sagittarius energy here. Usually points to communication, fast-moving things, right? Usually things that are for more on the positive side of things, I will say. And given that this is Sagittarius energy, this does remind me of the fact that you guys will have Jupiter moving into your sign right in the second half of the year. So I think July 1st, actually. So could just be saying that that's actually going to expand things for you guys in a positive way. Once again, like I said, I feel like you're gonna have a lot of communication going on, just feeling a little bit more confident, maybe more offers coming your way, but definitely looks like a pretty good indicator of how the year will go. In the second house, we have the 9 of Cups, well, 9 of Chalices it's called in this deck, but Pisces energy here. So if we look at the artwork, right, it looks like just kids having fun. I feel like this is saying that you're actually going to see some financial success this year through doing something that you connect with that brings out a childlike energy to you that maybe something that you actually aspired to do when you were younger, and now the opportunity to actually do it could be coming up for you guys this year. But yeah, overall, this looks like you're going to be feeling pretty fulfilled and comfortable when it comes to your finances. All right, in the third house, we have the King of Wands. So this is actually the court card for your sign. So to see this in your third house could just be saying that you might be communicating very clearly, right? Being very authentic with your communication this year, coming across how you're meant to come across. So definitely some good indicators there. All right, in the fourth house, we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, this could just be saying that you might receive some truth, maybe around your home environment, possibly around your family and upbringing, right? So maybe something's going to click for you this year as far as maybe something from the past. You might be viewing it through a different lens, or maybe something, that you had innately in you might be coming to the surface this year as well. That might have been passed down generationally from your family. All right. Fifth house energy, we have the Knight of Swords. This is Gemini energy here. So for fifth house in general points to romance, creativity, children. That's the house you guys naturally rule as well. So to see this here, I feel like this is saying that those areas of life might be picking up for you this year. You might actually be more gung-ho about approaching those areas of life as well. So maybe you'll spark a little bit more creative projects this year, right? Maybe you'll be a little bit more passionate in pursuing romantic goals, things along those lines there. All right. In the sixth house, we have the Four of Cups. So, sixth house in general points to work, health, daily routines. And to see this here, could just be saying that maybe you find that what's at play for you guys this year might be a little bit lackluster, right? They might not really call out to you. So that could actually be perhaps the spark that might lead you to look back to something that maybe you had a passion for when you were a child, right? So if the day to day, let's just say you're job hunting, right, and all of the jobs seem very stuffy, and you're like, this isn't really a good fit for what I'd like to do, it might actually nudge you toward reconnecting with something that you had a passion for when you were younger. All right, seventh house energy, we have Temperance. So this is the major arcana card for Sagittarius. And yeah, to see this here, I feel like this is saying that ultimately you're going to find that your connections are very balanced this year, you know, so whether you're in a romantic connection or not, right? I feel like this is saying that ultimately you're going to find that there's a good match there. The energy between you and another would be flowing very well. And this could just be pointing to what I was mentioning as well, given that you'll have the North Node move into your seventh house. So that could bring partnerships, contracts, relationships your way that are beneficial and are for your growth and highest good. All right, in the eighth house, we have the moon. So, eighth house in general could point to quite a bit. We have death, rebirth, investments, even taxes, intimacy. So, to see this here could just be saying that there could be more beneath the surface, right? So let's just say, super generic example, if you were thinking of investing in something, right? I feel like this is saying that, just be a little bit more cautious about what you're getting into. It doesn't have to mean that there's deception in play, right? So years ago, the examples I used to give with the moon is that it's just not as much light as you'd have in the daylight, right? So it's not that there's anything being put in your way as far as obstacles to trip you up. It's just that you can't see what's around you as clearly, so you might have to feel your way through a situation a little bit more. All right, in the ninth house, we have the Five of Swords. So yeah, this is an energy of usually people doing underhanded things, right, to try to gain an edge, having a winner take all mentality, right, but in a toxic way. So that's what I'm seeing with this. So ninth house in general would point to philosophy, higher learning, foreign affairs. So yeah, this could just be saying that in those areas of life in particular, I would just be on the lookout for who you're interacting with this year and accepting anything from those environments as well. I feel like you need to scrutinize them a little bit more. And I mean, ninth house energy for you guys is Aries, and I mean Aries will have Neptune in that sign for most of the year, as well as Saturn. So yeah, those are some heavier energies that could point to deception and then almost immediate karma around that too. So um, definitely don't engage in a more negative sense as far as that energy goes, because it could come back to bite you guys too. But ultimately, I feel like this is saying just be wary of others in those areas of life. All right. In the 10th house, we have the Three of Chalices. So this is Cancerian energy here. And yeah, I'm getting, again, a bit of a lighter, playful energy, right? So like I said, with the sixth house energy, it looks like maybe things coming your way aren't really connecting with you. But seeing the second house with the Nine of Chalices, seeing the Three of Chalices or Three of Cups here, which is a bit of a celebratory energy, it looks like finances are going to be pretty strong for you guys. But again, I feel like you have to have an emotional connection to it in order for it to really thrive. All right. In the 11th house, we have the Six of Chalices. So Scorpio energy here. And I feel like this is saying that you might actually reconnect with people from your past this year. So now, 11th house points to friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. So for some of you, you could actually be reconnecting with people from your past. And obviously, it looks like that would be a positive in this context. But also could just be similar to what I was seeing with the second house, where maybe you just connect with a passion from your past, right? And that could be what actually helps get some hopes and wishes of yours off the ground this year, too. the 12th house, we have the world. So the world usually points to learning karmic lessons, not having to repeat them. That's the best part, right? And usually I view this as more of like a North Node and Saturnian type of energy. But with this, given that it's in the 12th house, it makes me think primarily of the fact that you guys currently still have Jupiter in your 12th house, and then eventually, like we said in July, be moving into your sign. But that could be what's helping you get some of these lessons as well, right? So again, 12th house can be a little bit dark at times, but I feel like, especially like we said, given that Jupiter's there, it feels like whatever you do learn through that stretch of time is going to be for your highest good. And for some of you, maybe it's just like we were talking about, right? If you don't have an emotional connection to something, you might feel like you just can't give it your all. So maybe that's what's actually lighting that spark in you to make sure that you are only working with things that you have an emotional connection to, which is going to be for the best for all parties involved. All right. And bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. So yeah, Aquarian energy here, and similar to what I was just talking about, right? Maybe if there's just something that you feel isn't for your highest good, you will be distancing yourself from it this year. All right, we'll see what the Oracle card adds to the mix. So like I said, I'm actually going to pull a card from the Wisdom Oracle. So I'm just going to give this a few shuffles here. All right, and let's just take this card here, get this out of the way, and we'll see what card you guys got. All right, we have Flexible. There's the artwork, and the number is 19. So we'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says teachability, open-mindedness, being adaptable without compromising what's most important. The oracle's message: a tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building will come crashing down. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure, and everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. So yeah, I could definitely see where that connects with the main spread, where like we said, it looks like you need to just take a bit more of a lighthearted approach to things. And like I said, it seems like you might come to the realization that in order for you to do your best and to give your best to something, you have to have some level of emotional connection to it. The relationship message says, in every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card and reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. So yeah, with the flexibility, seeing that Sagittarian energy in your 7th house, that could point to that. Like I said, with the Knight of Swords, it looks like you actually might be a little bit more proactive when it comes to pursuing things on a romantic side of things, but hopefully that message resonated. And the prosperity message says, even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have much better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little. Enjoy the miraculous results. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as well. Like I said, given that we see the 9 of Cups in the 2nd house, the 3 of Cups in the 10th house, looks like there's definitely some positive potential for you guys when it comes to finances and career But yeah, like I said, it looks like ultimately you'll come to that realization that there needs to be an emotional attachment there for you to really offer your all and do your best in those fields. But yeah, we'll wrap up there. Hopefully that resonated with you guys, and I hope you have a good holiday season and New Year. Bye.